for the first down.
Well, Philip Shane delivers this on a line. It has to be drilled in for it to be complete. And this is a great throw and a good reception of a good, tough throw. Right on the numbers. Boom.
First catch of the year. Football handed off. Reese McCaskill goes up the middle. Doesn't get very much. Matt Hubbard was there, number 72. Also in on the tackle, David Sabrakia, number 45. Well, they try the middle this time. Give them a couple. Call it second down and 8 yards to go. Chapman in the backfield along with Marvin Reynolds and Reese McCaskill. Fake to McCaskill, high pitch to Chapman, and he's going to have to do a lot. Jason Martin grabbed him and threw him down as the pitch was high, and it gave Martin a chance, who stayed home, gave him a chance to bring him down.
Well, Lamar Chapman figures it's not his day. They gave him the straight ahead run. They finally get him on the pitch, and Reynolds misses his block, and Ferndale's all over him.
Jason Martin, the defensive stop, and so it is now a third down. 3rd and 8 for the Blue Jays. Bingham will be the lone wideout. Terrell, the tight end, on the right. See if Shane will throw again. Philip Shane puts it right into the belly of Reese McCaskill, and McCaskill takes it down near the 1 yard line. Boy, Reese McCaskill, as you were mentioning, fullbacks do not get a lot of carries. Reese McCaskill's 13th carry of the football game, and he has 14 carries now for 63 yards. It is 4th down and goal at the 1. Shane to McCaskill. No, Shane's got it himself, his 3rd touchdown of the football game.
That's where the option puts so much pressure on you down at the goal line. You've got to stop that initial charge on a 1 yard play, and he just pulled it out and walked in the end zone untouched.
Put it right in the belly of Reese McCaskill, froze the defense, took it in by himself, and so with 2:25 to go in the 3rd quarter, the Blue Jays lead at 29-7.
They still have not heard from quite a few of you. So
here's the shift, and we'll see Philip Shane. This is the wind-aided end zone, and Philip Shane shows a good strong leg. Philip did not kick the football at all for the Blue Jays last year. In fact, Bill Bingham did most of the placements. And let's take a look from ground level of the touchdown.
Well, they ride McCaskill into the line, and you've got to close on him. And Ferndale had a defender there. We couldn't pick up the number that made the hit, and then he just Shane broke the tackle and went in the end zone.
Now 20 on 20 there, Frank, as Reese McCaskill could have put a good block on Bill Allward, and the Blue Jays now lead it by the score of 30-7. So it took them a while to get on the board, but again, it's another one of those substantially, another one of those long, sustained drives, and Cal Flexer's got to be real happy with that because he's done it mostly on the ground.
Well, they've had very few penalties tonight, and when you have a team that is disciplined enough not to commit those mistakes, they're going to rival, you know, the top teams. Or 2 people were picked ahead of them. Who would they have picked?
Seaholm and Troy.
Seaholm and Troy. Troy has all kinds of talent, the same as Southfield, and I think Southfield is going to be right there with those 2 people at the end.
Now Bill Bingham will kick it off, and we'll see what his leg can do on the kickoff situation. It's an end-over-end kick that will be up for grabs and into the hands of Jason Martin. Martin goes to the outside, slips one tackle, and is brought down at the 39-yard line by Quentin Henry, or rather Philip Shane, number 8. So the 19-yard return by Jason Martin will give it to John Bazier's Ferndale Eagles. First down and 10 at their own 39-yard line. The Eagles, by the way, will travel to Andover next week to take on John Brooks' team. And they have some hungry football players over at Andover. They just have been, basically, they got beat in the line last week. There's your play, your scoring drive, Frank. 14 plays on that one. They had a 14-play scoring drive earlier. 1 of 9, 1 of 5. Presley And number 21, Dion Terrell, had a hand on him, and he was waiting for some help.
Yeah, Presley's a strong runner. He's got good size. You know, he comes at you 6'1", 185 pounds, and he gets into the line. He tries to bounce out. There's no hole at the point of attack. He rides it out, and Terrell just hangs on to him, finally takes him down. Little extracurricular on that, and I'm sure this is the time of the game you've got to start cracking down on that if you're an official.
Indeed. That's probably the hardest 2 yards that Claude Presley has gotten in his high school career. Mexico and Stiles will split out to the left side. The I formation behind Adam Valerian. Presley dotting the I. Valerian throws a little angle pass. It was intended for Stiles. There was coverage down there by Philip Shane, but the pass went incomplete. That is the 5th pass of the football game for Valerian. He has been incomplete on 4 of them. He's been complete on 1 of them, but that was to the other team, so that makes him 0 for 5. Now we'll get Rick Firth back in the game for Ferndale.
Well, Southfield is so hard to throw on because the secondary is so quick. We keep talking about their quickness, but you have to understand they've been probably the top track team in the state the last 5 years, and they get some real quick-footed people out there.
Their 5th third down conversion attempt. They are 0 for their first 4. Here comes the pressure. There goes the pass. It should be an interference call. Looked like a bump there, but it goes incomplete. Stashevsky was down there, but there were 3 Blue Jays, Shane, Chapman, and Marvin Reynolds. That's 3/4 of their backfield in the defensive backfield.
Well, they show how much area they can cover when the ball's in the air. The ball's in the air quite a while. 3 Blue Jays get to it and actually knock each other off of the ball.
So it will bring up a 4th down. About 8 yards to go. Stiles will split out to the right side. Carlos Griffin, they're going to punt. But he is still split out wide to the right side. Valerian is a quarterback, and he's going to punt for the first time tonight. Goes out of bounds and almost takes a cheerleader with it.
Well, that's kind of a disappointment for that secondary of Southfield, because if you play for the Blue Jays, you've got a better chance of receiving a ball off a kick than you do off of a pass from scrimmage.
Blue Jays will take on Hazel Park next week. And we mentioned Andover will entertain the Ferndale Eagles. That was the 2nd Adam Valerian punt. This one went for 13 yards. And now Quentin Henry will check into the lineup as a quarterback for the Blue Jays, and he hands it off to Reese McCaskill. And well, that's the smartest thing you can do on your first play from scrimmage. Reese gets about 6.
Well, it's getting close to that time. You're going to start seeing some fresh white shirts in there. Maybe one more touchdown at this point, and you're going to see Southfield start playing the people who haven't been in the ball game. And there's a lot of people going both ways that could use some rest.
And they still have their starting backfield, and once again, Reese McCaskill. Going gets tough. Give it to Reese right up the middle, and he gets the first down. Another 5 or 6 yards for Reese with 21 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. 30-7 in favor of the Ferndale Eagles, in favor of the Southfield Blue Jays.
They're giving Quentin Henry an opportunity to work with the first unit, and McCaskill's coming out and Reynolds is coming out. We're going to see the white shirts in there now.
16 carries, 74 yards for Reese McCaskill. That one right up the middle, and number 41 area, Kyle Singer takes the football, and Kyle Singer gets quite a bit. Not really sure exactly how much, but we do know that we're at the end of the 3rd quarter. And so with the score, Southfield 30 and Ferndale 7, we'll pause from Ferndale for this. And we hope there are a lot of them. That football game is next week at Southfield, 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So get out there and support your Blue Jays and give them the backing that they deserve. Well, that handoff was smelled out nicely. Lamar Chapman has the football, and he runs right into Fozzie Johanna, number 34. Just into the fourth quarter, the Blue Jays scoring once and leading 30-7. Ferndale has shown, Frank, that they can move the football offensively. They were unable to score points last week, but John Bazier told me that it was just because of the fact that they failed inside the opponent's 20.
Well, they also, like tonight, have committed some critical penalties, and those are the kind of things that you can't do if you're going to score, because they're not a big play team. They have to, you know, put the plays together and be error-free, and they haven't been tonight.
First down run by Lamar Chapman. Chaps carried the ball now 6 times for 17 yards. Those are fullback-type numbers from one of the halfbacks. Kyle Singer has replaced Marvin Reynolds in the backfield for the Blue Jays. Quentin Henry drops the football, comes right back up to him, and he gets about 3 yards on that play to the 29-yard line of Ferndale. And so we'll give credit on the tackle. Right in the middle of it is number 33, Karufus Lyman. Thought I saw him in the middle of that. Nope.
Inside the 30-yard line.
It was number 50, Tom Meister, who has checked in defensively for Ferndale. Second down and 7, a lot of movement, as you would expect from the second team. Handoff was supposed to go to Eric Watkins. We'll see who was the initial encroachee.
Yeah, they're discussing they got to decide who the first one is, because it's really dead after the first person crosses that line. I had mentioned earlier, in high school football, you have no opportunity to get back. Once the ball is set for play and you cross over the plane of the ball, it's illegal procedure, and you have to, or offsides, and you have to take the penalty. You have no choice.
Some changes in the offensive line as well. Now we will see number 22, Stephen Mapson, going to the left side as the lone wideout for the Blue Jays. Second down, about 11.
Quarterback Henry.
He hands the football off, this Quentin Henry, to number 41, Kyle Singer. Singer was actually, Quentin Henry didn't want to get rid of the football.
Well, I think Henry ended up hanging on to it. It was an option play. He put it in, pulled it out, and the back clamped down on it, and then they wrestled each other for the run.
Give them 3 on it. They set the ball down at the 31-yard line. Sticks are up at about the 24. This third down play. Lamar Chapman, I believe it was, who goes up the middle with it. It was not he, but rather Eric Watkins, number 39, who has the football. No, now we change it to 36, Rudy Merriweather. So we're getting them all in there, whether they're in there or not. Try to pick them out as they come across the sideline for the Blue Jays.
Well, this would be a nice morale booster for Ferndale if they can put a stop on them here and maybe put a drive together themselves and come down and finish with some respectability.
Henry fakes. He runs the football, and Quentin Henry dragged down from behind by Bill Allward. And the Blue Jays very close to another first down, a 7-yard pickup.
Well, here's the versatility of the Blue Jays. The quarterback rides the belly in with the offensive back, finds the seam, picks up the first down.
Blue Jays on fourth downs are 4 out of 4. Tight end number 84, Damon Johnson. And Henry is sacked, brought down by 45, and that being David Sabrakia.
And Meister on the stop.
And also Tom